Hello, welcome back to the Django World of Warcraft tutorial. In our last episode, we have finished writing up our management command, and it refreshes all the simulation scores on any characters that has a new gear upgrade. And we have also set up the basics for the graph page that already has all the data we need. So we just need to do some styling and get the graph up and running. But before we jump into the exciting visualization part, we still have one gap to fix. So right now, if we want to do a refresh, we have to manually run the management command, and we don't want that. We just want it to periodically pull the information and check all that stuff. So this is where cron jobs will be very useful. If you are not familiar with the concept, it is a very straightforward tool to help you schedule any sort of jobs in any intervals you like. It's super flexible, and I'll show you how to use it. So the first thing we need to do is in our init file, we want to start a cron d, which is a cron daemon that checks up on the intervals you configure and run the jobs. So we just want to start it in our container, that's all. So we're done with the init file. In the Docker file would be where we actually configure the cron jobs. So we'll start a new section, says setup cron, we'll run. So the way we configure this is we put our configuration in that string and we write that into the config file for the cron. So it'll be cron tabs and root. And this would be where we put the intervals and the jobs. So our jobs will be Python refresh characters. So that's simple. What we put in front would be the intervals. And this is where I would like to recommend the crontab.guru website. It is a really helpful tool to help you come up with your own intervals. So you can see it has multiple syntaxes to define your intervals. So this is a very basic one at every minute. So you can see it has 5 positions and each of them stands for a different unit. So you can start with minute and you can try out any of the other syntax. Like right now, it stands for every minute. And if you do say 5 to 10, it'll be every minute from 5 through 10. And that is the range syntax. And you can also do step values like, let's say every 5 minutes. And you can click on the next just to verify that it's going as you expected. So in our case, we can do every 30 minutes. So that'll be like that. But let's just make sure it's running correctly. So we'll do every minute from the beginning. So we'll put that here. And that should be set for our crons. And we also need to update the prod Docker file as well. So we'll just add it here. And we should be good. So now let's verify it's up and running. Okay, containers should be up. Okay, so now let's just verify that. If you haven't done so, just delete the checksum once again, just so it can run a new simulation. And now we just need to wait for 1 minute and we'll know if the crons are running correctly or not. In the meantime, I'm just going to open up the template file because this will be the file we work for the rest of this episode. Okay, so now 1 minute has passed, I believe. Okay, so now you can see we have a new checksum inserted for this character. And if you look at the score, you're going to see a new entry. So that's great. Okay, so now the crons are up and running. Just remember to go to your Docker file once again and set the crons to the intervals you actually prefer. We can do every 30 minutes, or you can do 1 hour at any minute you want. It's up to you. So with that out of the way, we can start styling this page. So the page should be Django WoW. Yep. And we know even though it looks like it's empty, it has all the data we need. And from here, you can actually start picking up your own favorite chart tool to have like the best styles you like. But in our tutorial case, we'll just use this very simple one called chart.js. So let's get into it. So the first thing we need to do is include their libraries and all their dependencies into our HTML page. And I've already grabbed the links to their CDNs for those libraries. So I'm just gonna paste them here. So we have the chart itself, and we have the moment and the adapter for it, because we need to parse the rating time from the scores. So install all of them. And from here, it's really up to what libraries you are working with, and you just need to follow their documentation or demo examples to set up the chart. I've already read through the documentation for chart.js, so I'll just start writing the code. So we'll need a canvas. We'll put that into body. We'll give it a div. And then we have canvas, give it an ID. Cool. And then we load all the scripts. And then we start setting up the chart. So according to chart.js, we need an array of data objects that has a x and y attributes. So we'll build that from the sim scores we have. Let's say const data, and we'll loop through the sim scores we have. So we have x being the timestamp, so we'll do new date. And for the y-axis, we have the DPS scores, so that'll be sim scores i.dps score. Okay, so now we have all the data points. We're going to start the new chart. So the first argument would be the canvas element, so it'll be document ID. Oh, there's a syntax error, and yeah, it's lowercase. Okay. And now we need to define some configurations for this chart. For example, we need it to be a line type, and for the data, we need just one data set. It's an array, but we just have one, so it'll be labeled as, let's call it DPS sync scores, and the data would be the data array we just assembled. Okay, and we're just going to add a couple additional options here. So scales x, that'll be a time series. And we want to have a standardized formats for the time get displayed on the graph. And because the x-axis can scale with different ticks or units, so we want to define that for every single one of them. So we'll do display formats equals, and it'll be a big blob like this. So we use this same universal standard for all of them. So let's see how it looks like. Let's refresh the page, and boom. Now we have this nice graph to track our DPS over time. And we're officially done with this project. Thanks for following me along with this journey. This project remained to be one of my favorite. Now that you have done this project by yourself from scratch, I hope you can feel more like what I'm feeling about this project. It's not like a typical Django 101 where it's all about, models, databases, and then rendering HTML pages, etc. This project touches a couple more aspects like pulling data from external services, running a binary, and schedule jobs, etc. And it feels more like solving a real-life problem than just building something, just for the sake of it. So this will be the last episode, free on YouTube. And I do have one additional episode that's only available if you buy the courses in the links in the description below. And because you've showed your support by following all my videos, this link will include a discount. In this additional episode, I'm going to show you how to further utilize the ability to run SimulationCraft on our application by building a page where you can copy an output from SimulationCraft plugin from the game and paste that onto the page and get an instant simulation run to get a live update on your DPS score. And honestly, I think if you have followed my tutorials and did all this project by yourself, I'm pretty sure you can figure all that out. So definitely optional, and I really appreciate if you want to show your support. Thank you again. Hope you had fun.